They say Glamis Castle's walls remember everything. One night in 1537, a woman was hauled through the gatehouse, shrieking that her soul would never rest. Somewhere behind the same stones, a gambler lost more than money. People still hear his laugh roll down the corridor at 3 a.m. sharp. Tonight we're slipping past every velvet rope, opening doors that architects insist can't exist, and asking the one question that won't let us sleep. What actually happened inside this medieval fortress? Section 1. The castle that shouldn't be. Glamis lounges among the low Angus hills like it's daring you to look closer. From a distance, it's every Scottish postcard. Pink sandstone, fairy tale turrets, flags popping in the wind. Step inside and the proportions feel off. Staircases climb straight into ceilings with no entrances. Doors open onto blank walls. Corridors twist and end in rock. 16th century plans in Edinburgh's national records show square towers that are suddenly octagonal, an armory that no pickaxe has ever found, and an attic that simply isn't on any blueprint. Historians just shrug. Locals mutter the castle rebuilt itself overnight. Section 2. The gambler who played for his soul. Alexander Lyon, 3rd Lord Glamis, had a reputation for cards and not much else. Winter of 1541, he hosted a high-stakes game in the Great Hall. Midnight chimed. Candles guttered, and a stranger in a traveling cloak asked to join. Stakes crept up. Coins, land, lives. Servants swore the deck grew hot. Final hand. Alexander bet the castle itself. The stranger smiled, flipped his last card, and the ink swirled into one word. Soul. Come dawn, Alexander was slumped at the table, eyes wide, heart stopped, card still clenched in his fist. Nobody ever saw the stranger leave. Section 3. The room that won't stay still. Since that night, staff keep finding a green baize table in new rooms. In 1892, a housekeeper popped into the chapel store and saw 6 men in doublets rolling dice. She screamed. They vanished, leaving a 6 of spades frozen in ice on the flagstones. Modern night guards check the CCTV every morning because motion sensors trigger in the same corridor at 3:07 a.m., the minute Alexander's heart reportedly stopped. Section 4. Lady Janet and the Witchcraft Trial. 24 years earlier, the castle already knew blood. Janet Douglas, widow of the 6th Lord, was accused of poisoning her husband and bewitching the king. They burned her on Edinburgh's Castle Hill while her little boy watched from a high window. Ever since, guests swear a gray lady drifts the corridors. One visitor in 1973 woke to find the apparition sitting at the foot of his bed, whispering, "Find the boy," before fading into the wall. Section 5. The Secret on the Foundations. 1908, workmen fixing a cracked wall uncovered a narrow shaft that dropped into darkness. They fed in 20 feet of tape. It came back wet and smelling of iron. The foreman bricked it up and laid new floorboards. Years later, University radar found a void 20 feet deeper than any known cellar. Still no entrance. Still no explanation. Section 6. The Princes in the Tower Connection. Some historians think Edward V and his brother Richard were smuggled north and hidden in Glamis's high tower. A smudged 1540s note hints at it. DNA tests on tower bones remain inconclusive, and the castle archivist just smiles. No comment on historical gossip. Section 7. The Impossible Tower. Walk the battlements from the east and you'll count 7 towers, from the west 8. Look up inside the chapel. No tower overhead. Outside, ivy curls around a tiny window 20 feet higher than any known room. Victorians tried to smash through the chapel wall. They met 2 meters of solid masonry. Outside, the turret is still there. Section 8. Evidence or just good storytelling. We dug through the register of the Privy Council, the Glamis rental rolls, the 1878 Parliamentary Survey, found rent paid to a Mr. Daviot, keeper of the North Tower, a tower no map shows. Found a bill for 24 torches to light the stranger's chamber, No chamber on the inventory. Skeptics cry tall tales. Believers wave infrared thermometers showing sudden cold spots. Either way, the castle keeps its mouth shut. If your head's spinning, hit subscribe. Next up is the boy who popped out for chapel and never came home. Section 9. The boy who never came home. 1754. The chaplain's 9-year-old Thomas left for Sunday service and vanished. Search parties combed every room. Hounds followed his scent to a spiral stair that ends at a blank wall. Years later, roof repairs revealed a sealed chamber holding Thomas's shoes. His initials TA are scratched above the staircase. Night janitors swear fresh child-sized handprints appear on the banister and melt away seconds later. Section 10. The Devil's Door. Local lore says Alexander's ghost still deals cards in a chamber behind the chapel altar. To reach it, you pass the Devil's Door, a narrow iron gate hung upside down. Beyond lies a corridor too low for an adult to stand. Inside, one chair, a candle stub, a deck scattered across the floor. Legend claims the candle relights itself at 3 sharp. Section 11. Modern Ghost Hunts. 2019. A paranormal team locked down the castle for 3 nights. Motion sensors caught a figure pacing the battlements when no one was there. EVP sessions picked up a whisper, "She is innocent." Thermal imaging flagged a cold spot exactly where Janet glides. They packed up bewildered. The team leader calling Glamis the most deliberately confusing building I've ever investigated. Section 12. The castle responds. We asked the current Earl for comment. His office sent one line. Glamis has stood for 6 centuries and will stand for 6 more. Its stories belong to everyone, and its truths to no one. The brevity only thickens the fog. Section 13. Final theories. So, what really happened? Maybe Alexander wagered his soul and the castle rearranged its bones to hide the dead. Maybe Janet cursed the stones as flames licked her ankles. Maybe the princes slept here and never woke. Tiny bones tucked behind bricks that move when no one looks. Or maybe stone is just stone and we're projecting our nightmares onto it. Still, every night at 3/7, the motion sensors blink. Every dawn, cleaners find cards in the locked chapel. And every tour ends the same, beneath the impossible tower, wondering which count is the honest one. Conclusion. History books close, but Glamis doesn't. Want us to live stream from the Devil's Door? Comment. Unlock the tower. Smash like if you'd bet your own soul you could find the missing chamber. Subscribe, because next week we're chasing the underground river that supposedly runs beneath this castle straight to the sea, and no one who's walked it has ever come back with the same story twice.